shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
I'm tracking a front that's headed our way to bring us some scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'll show you when to expect those.
And we're staying on top of a tragedy in Charlotte where 4 law enforcement officers were killed. New information we've learned about the suspected shooter.
Today marks 5 days of pro-Palestinian demonstrators camping out at UNC. Coming up, how this is shaking up campus on the last day of classes.
And the Canes are back on home ice for Game 5 tonight against the New York Islanders, where they will try and close out the series. We're just going to put that double overtime loss in the rearview mirror, right? Focus on PNC Arena. It's going to be loud tonight. Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30. There's a lot to tell you about on this Tuesday morning. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, great to have you along here. Yeah, get back on home ice, friendly confines. You know, one more game for the home crowd. All right.
That's right.
Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now, tracking that system that's coming our way.
Right now, it's all nice and quiet for us. It looks a lot like it did yesterday. Temperatures are in the mid-60s. We're looking at a southwest wind at around 9 miles per hour. So it's pumping in some moisture and a little bit of warmth, and that will set the stage for some potential thunderstorms. This is a front that's caused a lot of severe weather across parts of the Midwest and the plains. We're looking at just some scattered thunderstorms across parts of headed toward Georgia, mostly Alabama, Tennessee, on up into Kentucky. We'll see that moving in our direction, but weakening as it comes our way. We'll see the potential for a few clouds developing later on this morning. There's a look at 6 a.m., 8 a.m., and we'll roll it on ahead, and you can see, we just see, the potential for some scattered clouds. And then as we get closer to the evening, the potential for a few isolated showers pops up. Notice it's not much today. We maybe give it a 20% chance. But Wednesday, that front lingers across our area. There's lunchtime on Wednesday, and we have another chance for a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. We're not going to see a whole lot of rain out of this system today, but we're watching another front that may bring us a better chance over the weekend. We do have the tower lit in blue because our skies are clear right now. Beautiful moon out there. It's starting to set. So if you're not headed out the door right away, you might miss it, but it's pretty out there. 59 in Roxborough, 63 Rocky Mount, 64 in Fayetteville, and hour by hour, it'll be another warm day, very similar to yesterday, looking at nearly 80 degrees at lunchtime, and highs will be in the mid-80s during the afternoon. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at the weekend's chances for rain.
Elizabeth, thank you. This morning, the deaths of 4 law enforcement officers in Charlotte are sending shockwaves across the state and the nation. This video, shared by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department just before 11:30 last night, shows a procession carrying Joshua Ayer's body away from the hospital. You can see the long lines of people on both sides of the road showing their respects for the fallen officer.
Officer Ayer is pictured on the left here, and alongside him are Officers Sam Polash and Eldon Elliott. Both were task force officers with the State Department of Adult Correction. A U.S. deputy marshal who has not yet been identified also died in Monday's shooting, and 4 other officers were hurt.
Just before 11 last night, Charlotte police identified the suspected shooter as Terry Hughes Jr. Officers were trying to serve him felony warrants when gunfire erupted from inside the home. Other officers who tried to help those who were shot were also hit by bullets. Police say Hughes came out of the home still holding his gun. An officer shot him to death.
Rissa Rain, who lives in the area of the shooting, captured this video of the standoff between law enforcement and the people inside that home on Galway Drive. She tells WRAL she was late picking up her children from school because she couldn't get out of her own neighborhood.
The SWAT went through about 3 rounds of shooting, 15 minutes. Shooting, 30 minutes. And then the last time was when everything ended. I saw the snipers walking back. So I'm like, oh, they must be done now.
And neighbors say they are still shaken hours later. And WRAL's Eric Miller is in Charlotte for us this morning. He'll join us with a live report coming up at 5 o'clock. Also this morning, another story we're following. Wake County teachers and bus drivers will push for better pay. This comes as school boards considering the budget for the coming year during a meeting tonight. And WRAL's Laura Levine joins us live from the Rock Quarry Transportation Complex in Raleigh. Laura, bus drivers will be arriving there soon.
Hey, Jeff, good morning. Yes, in the next 30 minutes, we're going to see these bus drivers here gathering. They tell us they've been speaking out at school board meetings. They've been signing petitions, and now they're taking it up a notch. They say that before they hop on one of these buses again behind me today, they want to make sure their message is loud and clear. And demonstrators are calling this rally a walk-in as they prepare to hold signs and chant while walking into the schools as students arrive. In recent years, vacancy rates have been high for some employees, but have improved with pay increases, with the exception of bus drivers. Educators are calling for the Board of Education to honor their previous commitments to including a raise to the local supplement by at least 4% for all Wake County public school staff in their proposed budget. North Carolina Association of Educators President Christina Spears says this is a necessity.
Because we get to work every day and we go to work for our students, right? We don't want to walk out on our students and families. This is another way, again, to apply pressure.
Now, 7 schools are participating in the walk-ins today. After the rallies, the Board of Education will meet for the last time publicly for a work session to discuss the budget. They're looking at 4 proposals today. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And I'm Chris Levingood in the WRAL Live Center with a breaking update from a story that we have been following since yesterday. Investigators in Fairmont say that an officer shot and killed a suspect because that suspect stabbed them. This happened around 8:30 last night, the suspect stabbing the officer with a knife. We've learned that the officer was taken to the hospital for their injuries, but as for who the suspect is, their name has not been revealed just yet as their family is being contacted. And in terms of the officer who is responsible for this shooting, that information is being withheld as this investigation plays out.
Chris, thank you. For the 5th day, pro-Palestinian demonstrators are camping on UNC's campus, demanding to be heard by university officials. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from UNC. And Kelsey, today is also the last day of class for the spring semester.
Renee, it sure is. And right now, there's not much activity that we're seeing at the encampment this morning. We've had crews here around the clock. So most of the students are just here sleeping. There's a couple of students that are awake, just walking around and monitoring the camp. But take a look at this video from yesterday. Students were on the move, walking from the quad to Moorhead Planetarium. They're demanding the university disclose any investments in Israel and divest that funding. They're also calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Tents, sleeping bags, and tables of supplies are scattered across the quad, and students don't plan to move. But so far, there are no plans to cancel graduation activities.
I'm not concerned. I don't even see a singular police officer on campus right now. At the moment, I'm really not concerned about graduation being canceled.
UNC police say they will arrest people for camping near the administration building. We checked that area this morning. There were no tents that were set up there, only tents here at the quad. So we'll keep you posted on this throughout the morning. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Chapel Hill.
Former President Donald Trump will be back in court today for his hush money trial. A large crowd gathered outside Trump Tower in Manhattan yesterday as he made his way back to the city. Today, Gary Farrow will return to the stand. Farrow is a banker who helped Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, open accounts, including one that Cohen used to buy the silence of porn actress Stormy Daniels.
Tonight, you'll learn more about the need for more child care facilities across North Carolina and how you can help. The State Department of Health and Human Services will host a forum from 6 to 7:30 tonight. It's at the Perry Memorial Library in Henderson. Last year, 278 child care facilities closed in North Carolina. 60% of facilities statewide report staffing shortages. 55% are under-enrolled because of a lack of staff.
More than 100 people called into a new hotline designed to help former prison inmates find jobs and housing. The Recidivism Reduction Call Center went live yesterday in North Carolina. Recidivism, by the way, means the tendency to relapse into criminal behavior. Emmanuel Snellings once served 8 years in prison and was recently laid off. He called the hotline and got a job interview.
I can be, a citizen in society. I mean, I can be the man of my household that I need to be, because a lot of people doesn't understand that.
Giving people a second chance. Social justice activist Kerwin Pittman created the hotline. It'll be staffed Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And the number is 1-888-852-0004.
Carolina Hurricanes are bringing the playoffs back to Raleigh tonight for a chance to close out the series. They lost in double overtime this weekend in New York. Canes are back at PNC Arena tonight. It's Game 5, and head coach Rod Brindamore wants his team to stay even keel, not let one loss turn into any more.
This time of year, everybody's good, and so it's about bouncing back. It's about getting better. It's about how do you win the next one.
Yeah, Carolina leads the series 3-1. A win tonight will clinch that series. Game 5 starts at 7:30 tonight.
Two brothers in Nebraska survived a terrifying ordeal when they were sucked out of their home by a tornado.
For a long while, I was certain that was the last time I ever was going to see my brother.
They described the moments they were lifted out of their home and into the air.
Plus, everything you need to know about the upcoming cicada invasion.
And this is a live look at Goldsboro. It's going to be another nice day with temperatures in the 80s. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking some rain on the way for tomorrow. She will time that out for us.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
443, taking a live look at Sanford this morning. Skies are clear right now, but we will see some increasing clouds as we get through the afternoon and a small chance of a shower today and again tomorrow. A little better chance over the weekend. Our temperatures are in the 60s as you're heading out the door this morning. 61 in Lewisburg, 64 in Fayetteville, 60 in Irwin, and 63 in Rocky Mount. So nice mild start this morning. The kids at the bus stop, they'll definitely want their shorts and T-shirts. Temperatures are going to be in the mid 80s as they get off the bus. Temperatures in the low 60s this morning. They may want just a light jacket. 80 degrees as they're headed out on the playground later on today. It should stay dry during school hours, but later on this evening, we could see a quick sprinkle in a few spots. I'll walk you through it with Futurecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Two brothers in Nebraska survived a real-life nightmare when they were sucked out of their home by a tornado. Roger Slatton had just left for work when a friend called and told him a tornado was near his house. So he turned around to go back and alert his brother Royce, and both get to the basement. But before they could get there, the tornado ripped them from the house.
The house pulled a vacuum, and we could just hear, the windows just go boom. They all exploded. And under our feet, the floor it jolted a couple times, and then we just took off.
Well, both brothers flew through the air and ended up pinned under rubble. Royce needed 22 stitches. Roger suffered several cuts and bruises. The brothers say they do feel lucky that they've survived all this.
What a terrifying ordeal, and they lived to tell about it. A sailor died during training at Naval Weapons Station Yorktown. According to the U.S. Navy, this happened Sunday night around 8. Officials say the sailor was training on a boat in the York River. The sailor fell overboard, and the injuries suffered from the fall were fatal. An investigation is underway. The sailor's identity has not been released.
Internet services are working once again at some driver licenses offices in the Triangle in eastern North Carolina. A clipped fiber line caused the internet to go out at offices for more than 12 hours. So AT&T says a contractor for another company cut that line about 8:15 yesterday morning. The internet outage affected 7 driver's license offices and 4 license plate agencies. Most of the offices were in Wake County, but Carborough and Goldsboro's offices were also affected. The USDA has started testing beef, including ground beef from grocery stores, for the bird flu virus. The virus has been spreading in dairy cattle. The USDA said it is doing 3 separate beef safety studies. One includes sampling ground beef bought at grocery stores in states where dairy cattle have tested positive for bird flu. The agency says it is confident the meat supply is safe.
Cicadas are starting to descend on the Triangle. This marks a rare occurrence in the U.S. when 2 broods of 13 and 17-year cicadas are emerging at the same time. The last time that happened was when Thomas Jefferson was president. The type of cicadas we'll see across North Carolina are a 13-year species. They have a mating call as loud as a lawnmower. The cicadas emerge when the soil reaches about 64 degrees. It's a phenomenon that experts say could start sooner as temperatures get warmer.
With climate change, in a warmer spring and a warmer year, they're going to start coming out a little bit earlier than they might have in past emergences. So that's something certainly we see in other insects, like annual insects, just like the timing of butterflies and moths and caterpillars, things like that, is that timing is very dictated by temperature.
The peak is usually in mid-May, but now experts expect the peak in early May. For more information on the cicada invasion, just go to WRAL.com and search bugs.
After another top performance, a North Carolina singer is moving on to the next round of The Voice.
Take me by the hand, pretty mama, won't you dance with your daddy? Oh, come on now.
Josh Sanders of Kannapolis earned his way to the next round after a performance of Blackwater by the Doobie Brothers. His coach, Reba McEntire, chose him as one of her 3 performers to advance. The show is now down to its final 12, and that includes Tay Lewis from Goldsboro, who is on Team Dan and Shay.
It is 4:48, and I'm still thinking about the cicadas, Elizabeth. We're going to have these advisories of cicadas emerging all across our state.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, we have cicadas every year, and we do see this. I remember the last time it came around where we had, different broods that come out. Some are on a 17-year cycle, some are on a 13-year cycle, and it'll be more than what we normally see. But it is something that we see every summer, so we'll it'll be loud just like normal. 65 degrees is our current temperature. Our wind is southwest at 9, and so we continue to have this flow coming out of the southwest, keeping us warm today. We'll warm up to around 80 degrees by lunchtime. We'll keep it in the low 60s this morning. This is our big event of at least the next several days. This very slow-moving front is moving across just to the west of us, back here in Alabama and Tennessee. It'll come across the mountains and weaken considerably when it does, as we see so many times. The mountains really do protect us a good bit. We were watching that story, of course, about the 2 brothers who got sucked out of their home due to a tornado. The mountains don't completely protect us, but they really do a pretty good job of helping to weaken systems as cold fronts come across the mountains. So here's what we'll see later on this afternoon and evening: an isolated shower. I mean, the amount of rain that we end up seeing today is going to be minimal, but we will see increasing clouds. Tomorrow morning, there could be a quick sprinkle in the morning, and then as we move into the afternoon, south and east of the triangle, there could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm. But you can see our coverage looks pretty minimal with this system. It was a little breezy yesterday. We'll see the same thing for today. Our winds are out of the southwest around 5 to 10 this morning, and this afternoon we may see some gusts up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour. 85 in Raleigh, Durham, 86 in Fayetteville, so it's going to be another day very similar to yesterday. We're keeping it in the comfy zone just barely with our muggy meter, looking at 59 for the dew point, and so we'll see that today. And then we start to creep up a little bit, especially Saturday and Sunday. We're into the 60s, which puts us into the tolerable zone because we're going to see more moisture because of a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Our normal high is 76, so we continue to see a very warm week. Friday bumping up. Friday looks like it's going to be dry, so up to 89. We still haven't hit 90 degrees officially at RDU this year, so we might hit it on Friday. Again, a small chance of shower today, an isolated storm tomorrow in our southeastern counties, and then a better chance of rain potentially over the weekend. We are also proud sponsors of the Komen Race for the Cure, which is Saturday morning. We're going to take a closer look at what time Saturday's rain will arrive. Coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Travis Kelce signed a record deal for NFL tight ends. We'll tell you how much that extension of his contract is worth.
Plus, the newest piece of technology on UNC Chapel Hill's campus that's helping keep students and staff fueled.
Today in your entertainment news, a first look at a Lion King's original story, and Keanu Reeves is hitting the road for a new series. Here's Ashley Dvorkin with the Hollywood Nation.
A Lion's Legacy, Country's Party, and Keanu's road trip are in the Hollywood Nation. Keanu Reeves and Gard Hollinger, co-founders of Arch Motorcycle, are revved up for a new docu-series on the Roku channel. The Arch Project will follow the two on a quest to answer the question, where does human creativity and ingenuity come from? By exploring the stories of those whose ideas and achievements they admire.
Somebody save me.
The first round of performers rocking out at the Academy of Country Music Awards has been revealed. Taking the stage at country music's Party of the Year are Jelly Roll, Jason Aldean, Kane Brown, Cody Johnson, Miranda Lambert, Thomas Rhett, Chris Stapleton, and Lainey Wilson. The ACM Awards will be hosted by Reba McEntire and stream on Prime Video from Frisco, Texas, May 16th.
Mufasa.
Today's First Looks is a look back at how it all started for Simba's dad. Disney released the trailer for Mufasa, the Lion King, with Rafiki relaying the legend of Mufasa and how he became king of the Pride Lands. The origin story is directed by Barry Jenkins with music by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Its star voice cast includes Beyonce and her daughter Blue Ivy Carter, Aaron Pierre, and Donald Glover. Mufasa, the Lion King is in theaters December 20th.
It's Ashley Dvorkin reporting there.
Artist The Weeknd has donated $2 million toward humanitarian hunger relief in Gaza. The singer is a United Nations World Food Program Goodwill Ambassador. His donation will help feed more than 157,000 Palestinians for a month. This donation from the singer's charity follows an original $2.5 million donated in December.
Travis Kelce has a new contract extension, making him the highest paid tight end in the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs announced Kelce's new 2-year extension. They put out a video on social media to do that. It's reportedly worth just over $17 million a year.
Panera Bread is joining in on the Kentucky Derby fun with some new attire. The food chain has released a limited edition bread hat inspired by Panera's signature bread bowl. The hat features a 3D printed replica of the bread bowl, bright ostrich feathers, and a gold spoon. It costs $21. You'll have to put your name on a wait list to get one. The hat sold out quickly after launching yesterday.
Students at UNC Chapel Hill took their new robot barista out for a spin. They call it BrewBot. The students built it and programmed it. Students placed their coffee orders outside the Wilson Library. Robot took the orders and then prepared the drinks. Students in several disciplines came together to build the robot, including marketing, PR, computer science, and data science.
It is 4:57 this morning. A community shaken after the deaths of 4 law enforcement officers in Charlotte.
It's really scary to be in this environment.
New developments in the investigation, including the identity of the suspected shooter.
Also, the rally teachers and bus drivers in Wake County have planned for this morning to push for better pay.